What's up everybody, it's What Jim, and in this video I'm ranking 20 random album covers. Please let me know which of these album covers I'll be showing you today is your favourite in the comment section below. And I want to give a big thanks to Brian's Music Showcase, Jason Neil Millennial, Rich Strickler, and Samson John for suggesting 4 album covers each. But that only adds up to 16. Well, I chose 4 myself as well. I'll be talking about what I like about the album cover, what I don't like, if there's anything I don't like about it, and then why I've ranked it in that position. Let's get to it, shall we? Coming in at number 20, I've got the band's Music from Big Pink, which, to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the album cover. I don't like that the album cover is quite blurry, that not everything's 100% clear, but I do really like the colours that I use in the album cover, and it does definitely look like a piece of art, but if I saw this in a gallery, this wouldn't be a piece of art I'd really want to look at for long, and it's not one that I would personally want to buy, but it still is a pretty cool album cover though. Coming in at number 19, I've got Elvis Costello's debut, Being My Aim Is True. I love the way that Elvis Costello looks in the centre of the album cover, but what I'm not biggest fan of is the black and white parts around the album cover. It's quite hypnotising, and it's a bit of an eyesore, but I think the more you look at it, I'd say the more you get used to it. And I'm also not a fan of the fact that it says Elvis Costello, My Aim Is True in red. You can't really 100% make out what it says, especially with My Aim Is True. Coming in at number 18, I've got Riot by Paramore. And I think this is a pretty cool album cover. I like that one of the words for Riot is in red. I kind of wish the word Paramore was in a different colour though, rather than just being in black. And I feel that maybe it says Riot a bit too many times on this album cover, so it does get a bit redundant. At number 17, I have Hotel California by the Eagles, and I think this is a pretty cool album cover. I like the logo that says Hotel California. I kind of wish there was like an eagle flying past the album cover, or something to indicate that this is by the band The Eagles. I get this is a very iconic album cover though. I also don't think it's bright enough. I think there's too much of the trees and the grassy part of the hotel. I think I would have liked it to have been more of the building, in my opinion. Coming in at number 16, I have Bookends by Simon & Garfunkel. And I've always really liked this album cover, but the reason why I haven't got any higher is just because it is a very, very simple album cover, but I think both Simon and Garfunkel both look great in this album cover, and I love the fact that it's in black and white. At number 16, I have Meatloaf's Batter of Hell. And the reason why I don't have this any higher is just because the album cover does look really, really awesome. I'm a big fan of how the bike looks and seeing it back. That all looks really, really cool, but it's just, this looks too heavy metal to me. I mean, listen to the album, it's not heavy metal whatsoever, it's a very theatrical album. It just fools you a bit, because you might be buying it thinking it's a heavy metal album. At number 14, I have Relayer by Yes. Fun fact, my dad actually knew the keyboardist for Yes, being Rick Wakeman. They were both on the same plane flight together. I think this album cover is very beautiful looking. I do feel there's too much white going on, but I still do think this is a fantastic looking album cover. I love seeing the horses and seeing the people on the horses. You can sort of see like a snake in the bottom left corner of it. Number 13, I have Queen 2, and this is a very iconic album cover. It reminds me of Bohemian Rhapsody. Well, it reminds me of the Bohemian Rhapsody music video, because they do those same poses in that song, but I find it weird because Bohemian Rhapsody isn't on this album, it's on A Night at the Opera. Number 12, I have Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Deja Vu album. It definitely gives me like an old western sort of vibe to it, which I think is what they were going for. But I really like that it's got like a vintage look to it. I love seeing the acoustic guitar in it and seeing the cute dog, and I think David Crosby's got like a fishing rod. It's an album cover that does look really, really great. And if someone said I had to display this somewhere in my house, I wouldn't think twice too, because I think it's a really, really cool looking one. Speaking of cool, I've got Mr. Bob Dylan here with the album Blonde on Blonde. And during winter time, I sometimes go outside with a scarf on, and when I go outside with a scarf on, I immediately think of this Blonde on Blonde album cover. Because this is the gatefold, you get to see the rest of what Bob Dylan's wearing and the rest of him on the other half of the album cover, which I think is really, really cool. I also like this album cover has like a blurry sort of effect to it. I think it goes well with a few of the songs off the album. The one that mainly comes to mind is the first track being Rainy Day Women, number 12 and number 35. At number 10, I have King Crimson's In the Court of the Crimson King. This album cover is definitely a very eye-catching one. I think it's a very creepy but also interesting looking album cover. I know that Glenn Calloway from The Basement has this as one of his favourite album covers. It's just not an album cover I like to look at for very long, for being honest. Just now move on to my number 9, which is the first Led Zeppelin album. I think this is an incredible album cover. I love the actual Zeppelin part itself and the fact that some of it's in black, some of it's in white. I like that you can see the roof of a building in the bottom left. I wish the whole album cover was in black and white. You've got Led Zeppelin title at the top left and you got the Atlantic logo bottom right. If they were black and white, I think I would have ranked this album cover a little bit higher. And number 8, I have Definitely Maybe by Oasis. This is Oasis' debut. What I really like about this album cover is I see something different every time, and the fact it's got all the band members doing something different on the album cover. You've got one of them lying down next to a drink, which I think is pretty cool because the fact that this album's got a song called Cigarettes and Alcohol. This album cover also does provide me with a lot of questions, but I kind of like that about it. It has like a sort of mystery behind what's going on here. My number 7 is Who's Next by The Who. What's really cool about this album cover is he actually took this picture of the album cover about half an hour from where I currently live. You've got all 4 of the members of The Who taking a pee on the monument behind them. And I don't think that monument actually exists anymore. I really like the clouds as well, but the clouds weren't originally there. I think when the album cover was taken, they just added it on at the end, but I think it's really, really hard to tell. So I think the sky just looked really, really great. I do think they could have done something fancy with the Who's Next logo. It's almost like it's just stuck on there. I feel like they could have done something a bit more creative with it. Number 6, I have Joni Mitchell Blue. This is a very simple but effective album cover. It looks really clean and just awesome looking. I love the fact that it's all in blue and makes sense because the album's called Blue. Blue is also my favourite colour, so that's probably why I've got it so high. I just think Joni Mitchell looks really, really great in the album cover. Great looking album cover in my opinion. And number 5, I have ELO or Electric Light Orchestra's Out of the Blue. I do prefer the compilation album that has this ship on because it's got basically the entire ship. This doesn't have all of it, but you can kind of visualise what the rest of it's going to look like. I love that it has the ELO logo on top of the ship. You can also see like a space shuttle going into this giant ship. You can sort of make up your own story of how the ship got there, what's inside the ship. And actually, as this album's also a gatefold, like the Blonde on Blonde album, if you open it up, you actually get to see the inside of the ship, which I think is amazing. At number 4, I have Ram by Paul McCartney. I've always loved this album cover, even before I heard the album. I think the Rams look really, really cute. The Ram has its own logo. It definitely is a piece of art. I think this album cover is also taken in Paul McCartney's farm home in Scotland. I just love this album cover. At number 3, I have another solo Beatles album. This is John Lennon's Pass It Ono Band. Seeing Yoko Ono there, I think it's pretty nice, and I just think it's a really calm and soothing album cover. It's definitely different to a lot of the music you find on this album, but there are some relaxing songs on this album. At number 2, I've got the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Are You Experience? And this is a very psychedelic album cover. I think all the band makes look really, really cool. They have a very psychedelic effect on them. Definitely very 60s, but definitely very awesome. I also love the use of purple, and especially the fact that the first track on the album is called Purple Haze. I'm not sure if that's a coincidence or that was what they were purposely going for, but either way, it's really, really fantastic. My favourite of these album covers is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which is actually my top 10 album covers of all time. I think it's perfect. I can't fault it, which is why it's my number 1 here. I love the look of Elton John and just all the colours and the fact that it's going into the Yellow Brick Road. He's sort of going into the picture. Seeing a little piano there and seeing a music note in the bottom right. I just think it's fantastic. This would be the one out of all these I want to display the most. The one I like looking at the most. And For those reasons, it's my favourite album cover out of these 20. So that's it for this video, and please, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and comment. I also want to give a special thanks to the 4 members of the vinyl community that helped suggest album covers for this video. I really appreciate it, guys. Also, please let me know what your favourite album covers of these were in the comment section below. Until next time, everyone, keep listening to awesome music, and ciao.